make sure you're on page 218. We're going to complete these guided practice problems together before you begin the independent practice. And after you submit the independent practice, there will be another Edpuzzle video for you to complete about problem solving, and then 3 more word problems to do on your own after that. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 1. Please go back and look at examples 1, 2, 3, and 4 to help you with these items. Now today we're practicing writing equivalent addition expressions to help us solve these problems. You may also use counters, you may draw number lines, but first thing I'd like you to practice is writing the addition expression. It's similar to what we've done before with dividing. Fractions, we're going to keep the 14, and then we're going to change the subtraction to addition, and then instead of flipping the fraction, obviously we're going to flip the sign. So this is a positive 17. What is the opposite of positive 17? That's correct, negative 17. Okay, so now all we have to do is use our rules of adding integers. So which one has a greater absolute value? 14 or negative 17? Answer that for me, please. Very good, negative 17. So if the negative has a greater absolute value, that's going to be indicate what the sign of the answer is. So is the sign going to be negative or positive? Very good. The answer is going to be a negative. So all we have to do now is compare the absolute values. So if 17 is the larger absolute value, we're going to subtract the other absolute value. So what is 17 minus 14? Excellent. So the answer is going to be negative 3. Okay, I'd like you to complete the addition expression right now on your own, and then we'll check it in just a moment. Okay, you should have kept the 14, changed the subtraction to addition, and then added the opposite. And the opposite of negative 10 is what? Very good, positive 10. And this is going to seem crazy, but 14 minus negative 10 is actually going to be the same sum as 14 plus positive 10. And what is that? That's exactly right. The answer is 24. And if you can't do that in your head, okay, the 1 in the tens place, 1 plus 1 is 2. If you need to, please just go ahead and line them up and do it that way. So just because it's sideways doesn't mean you have to do it sideways. Okay, now go ahead and write the equivalent addition expression for 12 minus negative 26. Very good. So we keep the 12. We change the subtraction to an addition problem. And what is the opposite of 26? Very good. That answer is negative 26. So the next question we're going to ask ourselves when we add these two integers together, which one has a greater absolute value? Which number is further away from 0? That's correct, negative 26. That means the answer is negative. And so now we just have to compare their absolute values. And we'll do that by taking 26 as the absolute value of negative 26, subtract the absolute value of 12, which is 12. Go ahead and answer that for me, please. Okay, the answer is going to be negative 14. This becomes a little trickier because these lines are absolute value symbols. So there's a negative outside, but we want to figure out what the absolute value is of negative 3 minus 4. Okay, the first thing we're going to have to do, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this, is we have to make this subtraction problem into an addition problem. So it's going to be negative 3 plus, what is the opposite of 4? Very good, negative 4. Okay, so, and then it's going to be minus the absolute value of negative 1. All right, so what is negative 3 plus negative 4? Very good. So that's going to be negative 7 minus, and what's the absolute value of negative 1? 1. Very good. So we've simplified this a bit more. So what is the absolute value? What's the equivalent expression? I'm going to write equal sign here. What's the absolute value of negative 7? Very good, positive 7. But there's a negative out here, so we're going to put negative out here. It's going to turn out to be a negative 7 anyway. So the answer of what is the equivalent is negative 7 minus positive 1. So we have to make this into an addition problem. So what is the equivalent addition expression to negative 7 minus 1? So the negative 7 stays the same. Then we're going to add the opposite. What is the opposite of positive 1? Very good. Negative 1. So what is negative 7 minus negative 1? And that answer is negative 8, because a negative plus a negative is a negative. And that's how we solve that. And this guided practice, the sea surface temperatures range from negative 2 degrees to positive 31 degrees, determine the difference in the maximum and the minimum temperature. So difference is what operation? Answer that for me, please. Very good, subtraction. So we're going to go ahead and write the subtraction equation. So it's going to be negative 2 minus 31. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture of that to make sure I have this correct in my mind. So I have a 31 degrees Celsius, and then here's 0, and here's negative 2. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to change that up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and say 31 minus negative 2. Okay, so positive 31 minus negative 2. So I need to write the equivalent addition expression, which is going to be what? We're going to keep the 31, and we're going to add the opposite of negative 2, which is positive 2. So what is 31 plus 2? Very good. The answer is 33. So let's see if that makes sense in the picture. So we want to know the difference. So 31's way up here, and we have to go 31 spaces. That's the absolute value is 31. And then to get to negative 2, the absolute value is 2. So 2 plus 31 is 33. So that makes sense. Okay. So complete the independent practice on your own. Take a picture of that and upload that. And then you need to complete the Ed puzzle for problem solving, and then complete the problem solving problems after that, and upload those as well. After that, you will be completing math practice either in extra math or in Imagine Math Facts, or you will then do Imagine Math lessons. Thank you.